Today's guest is an actor, one of the greats of our time, some people would say. You may know him from some of his many films, Whiplash, War Dogs, Top Gun 2, and he has a new movie, Eternity, that comes out November 26th. It'll be in theaters. You can go check it out. I've met him before, and I'm grateful to sit down and spend time with him today. He's a one of a kind. Today's guest is Mr. Miles Teller.
And where's your home base?
My home base is Nashville.
Okay. Yeah, our sister-in-law, or Kelly's sister, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, they just moved to, I think they bought a spot in fucking Troubadour.
Oh, yeah, dude, remember that's the first time I met you was
over there, yeah.
You and your wife, I met you out there with
Stelly?
Yeah, with Will Stelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
He's
cool.
an LSU boy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Todd is awesome.
Yeah, I saw Todd last week.
Dude. He's such a fucking. He invited me to the Ryder Cup with him. I couldn't go, but he's just awesome.
Todd Graves.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He owns a Triceratops head. He owns that. He owns one. He lent it to the museum in Louisiana.
I mean, just obviously the skull.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool though.
Yeah. Good call.
I would pay somebody to fucking realistically fill that bitch in.
Oh, dude. Well, and especially like. You'll see a lot of perverts will be like, "Oh, look at the tits on that." I'm like, "Those are horns, you idiot!" Like,
are we talking right now?
Yeah.
Is this real?
We can be, or we can. Start over. If you want.
No, dude, I'm all good. I just had no idea.
But yeah, you'll see people just hang Mardi Gras beads and stuff on. In Louisiana, people just don't give a shit.
Wow.
But yeah, I just saw Todd the other day, dude.
Where does he keep it?
There's like a museum over there.
Oh wow.
So it's like a Louisiana museum. So there's like. The stuff the artifacts they keep in there are a little bit different, like a beer bottle, or like shit that's just a little bit more Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like
I grew up half my life I grew up in Central Florida. So I imagine it would be similar kind of museums. Yeah.
With like Daniel Tosh was down there. Was Tosh popping when you were growing up?
Well, yeah, but also like the Daily Show came to my county twice when I was growing up. The one is because they have a cooter festival, which is a type of turtle. And then the other, a cooter, it's like a type of turtle.
Bring up that cooter turtle.
Bring up that, flash up that cooter. And then the other one, it was like Ed Helms came because the town next to mine banned the devil from coming into the town. And it was the town of Inglis. Like some pretty backwoods, like Citrus counties where, I went to middle school, high school.
Bro, that's amazing that they, first of all, this is, it looks like Cooter-tober just happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're really kind of, I guess, branching out. You could probably do it for every month. Anything that ends in an R, I think you're good, dude.
But Cooter-tober,
yeah,
that sounds pretty wild. Cooter-tober is back. It says apparently it was discontinued for a bit.
A whole month of Cooterific fun, Inverness, Florida. Let's go! Shout out.
This year, we're returning with all your favorite events like the Cooter Carnival, Small Town Saturday Night, Cooter Comedy, and that's great.
Yeah.
And that's the Cooter Turtle.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. They must not have discovered it for a while, or they must not have they must not have celebrated as much because it didn't. I remember that they didn't start like Cooter Fest until like I don't even know if I was still in high school. I might have been out of high school. So it took a while.
I wonder how it even got that name because I've heard of people using like kind of
slang.
Well, goats for like bestiality, but if this would be the worst thing to try to invade a species,
Yeah.
Like, how did it get its name? How did the Cooter turtle get its name? The Cooter turtle got its name from the African word kuta, which means turtle. In the Bambara and Malinke languages, the word was brought to...
Originally it was Kuta.
Kuta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kuta.
Yeah, Kuta Fest.
Hey, boy. Come on down to Kuta Fest. I just saw a woman, they have a woman that has 2 kutas, actually. I saw she's on TikTok the other day. There's a woman...
What? Now are you...
No, I'm talking about the anatomy now. I'm changing it. So
you want to hear Okay. No, go. Yeah, go.
There is a woman who has 2 vaginas that's on TikTok.
Yeah.
She sent a DM the other day to me.
How many DMs did she send? One from each? dude.
Bro, if she sent replica DMs, that's insane, bro.
So can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So I'm at my boy's wedding, and he's from Ohio. We're at the reception now, the after reception. We're all just hanging out in the hotel room, and the one dude's like, "Yo, do you remember that girl I went to high school with 2 vaginas?" And he's like, "Dude, you're talking about Cheryl?" And then his other buddy's like, "Yo, double barrel Cheryl?" And I just thought that was the funniest fucking nickname I've ever heard in my life. Double barrel Cheryl. I was like, that's got to go in some American Pie type movie. Just double barrel Cheryl. So as soon as you started talking about that, I was like, oh, I have one.
Put her in a museum,
But
dude.
she used to say, like, this one's for my boyfriend. I'm saving this one for my husband.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because I would, if I had both, dude.
You'd blow them both in the first week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, dude.
No, I'd be like, I'm saving this one for after dinner or whatever. But I would definitely, dude.
This is the dessert. This is it's my
It would be like
one. AM, PM.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. Like the gas station. It's 24 hours.
Yeah, this is my
running all night, dude.
This is my morning one, and this is my evening one. And one has like tattoos around it and stuff, and the other one is a bit more like back.
Classy.
Yeah, a little bit more upscale.
Upscale. Leave a Yelp review. This one's closing in on 5 stars. This the other one, you know what that one is.
Yeah, and the other one for some reason has 3.8 stars. You're like,
both viable options.
Pretty good. Look, I'll pull up a chair. Go back to that woman. No, that's Double Barrel's a great name.
Double Barrel Cheryl, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
We weren't fortunate enough to get a woman like this in our area. Let's see what she says here.
I was born with 2 vaginas, 2 uteruses, and 2 cervixes. There was no join from my mouth to my stomach, and that instead my food pipe was connected into my air pipe going into my lungs.
Okay,
the music is that's tough. I feel like our tone should have been a little different when we were talking about I'm sure it's a horrible thing to deal with.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Even if I had 2 penises, I would. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, well, that would be very tough if you were, especially like when you're in high school and stuff, and your body, you're going through puberty and whatever, and you're getting erection in high school. I would,
erections.
Yeah.
Unless they will operate different frequencies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like AM, FM.
But that's like an antenna. Like that's like there's no hiding that. You got 2 ready to rock, dude. But if you could time them out, as soon as the one's done, other boy.
Like a pentameter? Almost like a drummer.
Or like your one's just getting the tires, warmed up.
Yeah.
The other one's like, doing a hot lap.
Yeah, dude. I think if you especially
said like drummers.
Yeah, it'd be like if they had a cool pentameter kind of.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. Well, the Grateful Dead has 2 drummers.
Do they?
It's the best.
You have their shirt on.
Yeah.
You went to I saw you went to their 60th.
I did the San Fran show. I've seen them at the Sphere. I've seen kind of this iteration Dead & Co. for I think pretty much since John started, but yeah, they're my
John Mayer.
Yeah, John Mayer. But even before that, I was seeing some different versions of them, and Bob Weir and Phil Lesh kind of independently. But yeah, it's the best. Honestly, like when our house burned down, like the thing that probably one of the things I was most upset about was all of these vintage Grateful Dead shirts. But that community is so awesome. I don't have Instagram or anything, but they reached out to Kelly and were like, "Hey, Deadheads." They were like, "We feel so bad for you guys, and we know if our house burned down, we would really miss those shirts. Can we send you some from our own, collection?" So a bunch of people, shout out to you, just sent me shirts. It's such a loving community. I feel like all those, bands from that era, especially the Dead, who really kind of supported, everybody. Their crowds were rainbow colored before anybody's, if what I mean, if that makes sense. So,
wow. So people just sent you different ones. Did they? Is that one of them?
No, this one I think I got up in San Francisco. Oh, that was the spread. That was just for like 3 days, but I was like, I don't know what pants I'm gonna wear. You know what I mean? I gotta.
Oh, that's for when you went to a show.
For San Francisco, there was 3 nights, so I just took them all out. It's kind of the only stuff I post about is like, even my bio quote, or I mean, that's a Jerry Garcia one.
That's great, dude. My brother has a big Jerry Garcia tattoo on his chest.
Does he?
He loves them. Yeah, we got
Nice.
to go together actually and see them at the Sphere one time. Our producer Zach went and saw them. I believe for 2 nights in San Francisco. Yeah, Zach.
Yeah, I was up there. I was at all 3 nights actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I mean, they're all amazing. Sturgill, I thought Sturgill was.
I was gonna ask, who do you
Exceptional.
think was the best sit-in?
Sturgill was exceptional. I mean, I just think overall Saturday night was kind of the best night. It's hard because you can look at the set list, but usually at least one of those weekend shows they just catch lightning in a bottle. And I think that's the beauty of the band, is that you're never going to hear the same song twice, but because it's so improvisational, and they're on the ride with you. You know what I mean? To play music at that level, and there's such, I mean, the skill set from all those guys is so high, but it's just fun, dude. I dance my ass off too. People think it's like,
You do.
you're just high and just sitting there. It's like, no, that music makes me boogie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. I love it.
Dude, that's
if you're
what-
not sweating, you're not trying either. I think maybe some of that's the Florida thing, but it's like, I grew up with a thin layer of sweat all over my body all the time. It makes you feel alive, dude.
Oh, in Louisiana, you can't even land a handshake with people. If it's humid day,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
see
yeah.
people trying to land a handshake for fucking 30 seconds, 40 seconds. They'll just give up on the friendship. They'll go their separate ways. It's just, that's the kind of place it is, man.
Yeah, I always say it's like you have a thought and you're sweating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that air too, like when you get off the plane, because we would always fly into Tampa, like you get off that plane, it's just a huff. It's just a thick air, dude.
Yeah, it feels like the air has a little bit of an infection, to be honest with you. You know?
When I feel that like air at night, it just makes me feel like mischievous. Because when I was like all those teenage years, just at sunsets, get on a bike, just figure out some shit to do in your neighborhood. Like that air just makes me kind of relapse, I guess. Is the word.
Well,
Yeah.
it makes, dude, there is something about it. Like, there's something about, I even think about this, like if you ever at a place that doesn't have air conditioning, right? Like at first you're like,
Europe,
oh,
most of Europe, dude.
you're like, this sucks. But then I feel like your dreams and everything is more acclimated to the actual
Sure.
climate of whatever's going on,
Sure, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I always feel like I get, like I have like more imaginative or creative dreams whenever I'm in a place that doesn't have air conditioning for some reason. But yeah, that South, dude, that shit hits you hard. Dude, you do dance, man. I remember this now. I don't know if we were, it could have been like Marshmallow maybe. It was one night we were both in Las Vegas after a UFC fight.
Okay.
And maybe it was Chainsmokers or something. It might have been that one when Ed Sheeran was there.
I don't remember. I don't know.
But you were like, you dance, dude. Even
Yeah.
if you're just by yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
you are doing your own thing. It's
Yeah.
like some people would think like, oh, Miles Teller, like he's just gonna be like this cool guy, and he just like flew his jet in there, his Mach 70 jet, or,
Probably Southwest.
Yeah, but I mean, he flew his Top Gun plane in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
He's gonna sit like
Dude, I love it.
You have your
Yeah.
own time. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's like you decide that I'm gonna have a good time for me, and it almost like inspires. Like, God, I wish I could be that free.
Well, I think you're pretty free. I think you're a pretty free fucking dude. Just from
I guess I wish I could dance better.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean,
what I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I think I don't know. And I heard something a while back, and it's not something I like think about, but they were like, if you're having a party or wherever you're in a group of people, you're not sure everybody. They said like the number one way to kind of try and have make everybody have a good time is just have a good time yourself. And I think that, but also I've just always like rhythm, dancing. That's something I've just always kind of got down with. Like that's how I love it. But yeah, that DJ music, but I like Bob Seger, like classic rock gets me going, dude. Let alone if there's some rock piano, I love that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, some good jazz. My mom came in town recently. We went and listened to some blues. She likes to do that. I went and listened to
Did you go somewhere for blues or?
We went to this blues place in Nashville. It's just like in Printer's Alley. I think it's kind of it's a bit of a touristy spot, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think we're just having trouble finding a spot.
Yeah.
And so we went and we had a great time. It was actually a guy from New Orleans that was playing. And so we just sat there and just had a nice time. She likes to listen to it. It's funny, as my mom gets older, she almost turns into a child a little bit. And there's moments where it's almost like it's a kid there, but like just like in an older body.
Just the fascination, the kind of, it feels new to her, the kind of.
It's a good question. It's like you can just see on her face she's having a good time.
It
almost
just feels like pure and some innocence to it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's great.
It's almost like
How old's your mom?
she's 77.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's an adult. She looks a little bit like Willie Nelson. Let's see a picture of her. She's not going to want to hear that part.
She look a bit like Willie Nelson. Oh, hell yeah.
She's awesome.
Dude, I love that.
She listens to every episode of this.
Oh, great.
So it's
What's
pretty
her
cool.
name?
Her name is Gina.
What's up, Gina?
There you go, Mom. Miles is married, Mom. Calm down. What's your mom's name?
Mary.
Mary?
Yeah, like Christmas.
Ooh.
Merry.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And they did that on
Yeah.
purpose?
Yeah. She was born like December 15th.
It's close
But
enough.
she gets like, so it's not Mary.
There she
And my
is.
mom's like best friend. My mom says she's like the only one who pronounces her name correctly, and it's Mary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mary.
And then I just remember like some of the they're not your uncles, but like these guys live in the neighborhood and they just all seem like kind of pervy.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, guys that loiter or whatever?
No, but they were like family friends and shit, but just some based on I don't know. I just feel like when I watch these old home videos, you'll just hear you're like, whoa, that was
Yeah.
pervy as shit, dude.
Yeah.
So they'll say like Mary, then they'll go, all right, can do it. Lugga.
Yeah, that's gonna raise a few flags, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Mary.
Maverick.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
nice. What does your mom do for work? Does she work?
She did real estate for a while, but not working. My dad actually retired. He just retired a couple of years ago. He was born in 54, so 71. I think he retired pretty close to 70.
And are they enjoying, has it gotten weird for them since they're both retired? Have they all, because some couples it gets weird because they're both at home and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I see him a good amount, but I'm sure. Yeah, I know my dad likes doing like outside work.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
A lot of guys, the second they realize that they have to be in like when the retirement happens, like, oh God, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, you need
They'll
some
they'll build
hobbies, dude.
My stepdad built like 40 birdhouses in our yard.
That's
dude.
cool.
He did not want to be
Just the building them.
Yeah.
Just never. Did he ever put them on?
I mean, some of them he did.
Yeah.
He also he got the one, the
Just
helmet.
go back to 14-year-old in shop class. I guess that's kind of the.
He was building doghouse. We didn't even have a dog. I think he just wanted to be. He still needed some time alone.
Yeah.
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 So I think there's that.
I mean, I don't have kids yet, but I imagine, because growing up, my dad would, he'd be like working on the pool or something, or just be fiddling with stuff in the garage for like hours. I have no idea what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be cool dad stuff. I bet it'll be cool whenever you're
Just
a
kind of
dad.
tinkering. I just want to tinker. I could tinker for days, dude.
Let me get out here.
Yeah.
Let me start collecting something weird too. My buddy's dad collected all these toy trains and stuff, and whenever we go over there, he'd have to set it all up, dude. It would take. We just
Like around the holidays, around Christmas or something?
I think it was any time he started to lose his mind, and he would just set that bitch up in June,
Yeah.
And he'd have to do the train, and it was just like, you want to support your friend's parents, but it was just a lot. It was a lot. It's a lot to watch somebody do the toy train a lot.
I had this bus driver growing up. His nickname was Fingers because he was missing like a couple of them. But he had this.
Thankfully, that's the reason why, dude. Because there's a bus full of kids.
Fingers. Yeah, and he'd always point at you with the nub.
Oh yeah.
But he had this belt buckle because we were just talking about collecting weird shit or whatever. But he had this belt buckle that was looked like he had hand glued on like silver dollars, and so it's just like 20 silver dollars. I thought it was cool as shit when I was a kid.
Oh, dude, the stuff you thought was cool when you were a kid was so great, dude.
Yeah.
Even like you said earlier, like I remember, I was talking about this the other day, whenever like the sun, like if you were playing in the street with your friends and it was like somebody was pitching the ball, you're like, one more pitch, but the sun was setting, you'd be like, dude, just one more. Like you knew you were going to try to hit a home, or like the game, it wasn't even, it was just like, just these moments when you were a kid, everything was so severe.
And
or if you
like
rode your bike at night, just anything that, it was so.
Or just riding a bike, like in just, I think the beauty, just riding bike in general, man, it just brings you back to that. I knocked myself out once playing this game. I got a bunch of concussions when I was younger, but my sister just graduated like 6th grade. I was probably in 4th grade. So like I was trying to come up with a game. So we grabbed a basketball and like an aluminum bat. And we're like, oh, we'll play basketball. So she pitched it. I hit it the first time. You know, it's like ding, ding, ding. So I'm like, all right, I got to grip it tighter. Second time, fucking metal bat with a rubber ball, dude. I fucking swung it, ding, knocked myself out. My parents actually, they were saying that, like the teachers in my school were thinking that my parents were beating me because I would come in like once a week or two, just like shiner, like concussion, dude. And I had that little surfer cut. So I would try and just cover the the fucking tennis ball with that.
Waves are intense.
Yeah. Wow, gnarly swell today, boys.
Bitcoin just hit an all-time high, which is pretty wild considering that it was just trading at around $60,000 last year. When I need more Bitcoin, MoonPay is always the first app that I open, because it doesn't force you to buy a whole coin and it's super easy to use. MoonPay is actually one of the biggest partners on this show, and I'm excited to share that I've made the decision to accept my compensation from them in Bitcoin instead of US dollars. I'm planning to hold and save that Bitcoin in my MoonPay account. Indeed. The Bitcoin will sit in a digital MoonPay wallet that nobody can access except for me. The US dollars continue to fluctuate in value, so by making this decision, I'm diversifying my portfolio and hopefully earning more from our partnership than I would have otherwise. Remember, while MoonPay makes buying crypto straightforward, it's essential to do your own research and understand the risks involved. Crypto trading can be volatile and you could lose your investment. MoonPay is a tool to facilitate your transactions, not a source of financial advice. Trade responsibly. It's the best time of the year in sports. NFL teams are clawing for playoff spots. The college football playoff is around the corner. The NHL is throwing punches on the ice, and the NBA is back. It's a lot to keep up with unless you've got the Bleacher Report app. BR isn't just scores and stats. It's where fans can find all the news they want and connect with other fans. You want breaking news before your group chat even knows what hit them? Done. You want to cry with strangers in the Saints community chat after a heartbreaking loss? That's a Tuesday. You want highlights because you fell asleep during a late game? Easy money. Sometimes I just drop a Dak ain't elite in the Cowboys forum and run like I lit a firecracker in a mailbox. That's the kind of chaos and community you get with Bleacher Report. They've got it all. I can get all my highlights to keep up with everything that's going on. I never miss a moment, and I have all the news at my fingertips. So if you want personalized alerts, highlights, live scores, and more, then download the Bleacher Report app. Stay connected, stay informed, and stay just a little bit unhinged with the rest of us during the best time of the year. You know, a lot of fellas, they enter the room, dub F, homie, wiener first. You got me. Blue Chew, they'll help. It isn't just a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer, lasting. Like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and turned it into an upstairs. I'm upstairs. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Yep, that is the truth. This isn't just about performance. This is about legacy or third legacy. You get it? Wiener. Give her group chat something to talk about. You know when you lay it down, when you're laying down. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code Theo at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Dude, I can't believe yeah, you mentioned, I forgot that you guys lost your home. Was that
we you know, and I was filming a movie in London, and we had a house in Studio City, and that house got robbed while I was filming, And so I thought I was just going to I thought we'd go back after filming, kind of bump up security measures, refortify. And Kelly's like, no. She's like, they go through all of her stuff. And it's a very violating feeling. So then we bought that Palisades house. And honestly, I would say it was the first kind of neighborhood in LA where my wife, A, felt really safe. And then B, would be like excited to go back to LA whenever we'd be filming. I never heard her say that in like the 12 years we'd been dating. And, yeah, we worked with some designers. My wife really designed so much of it. And I had this feeling last night because we're in this rental, obviously we've been in rentals. And I was just laying in bed. I was like, man, this, we're in the place we're in is, it's a nice place. We don't have to worry about the water, the air, it's really well done. But at the same time, it fucks with your mind when you can't look around at any point and see anything that reminds you of your life. Everything is just, there's no attachment to anything. That's literally my fucking house.
I don't know why we brought that up.
That's my Bronco, though. That was my 75 fucking Bronco.
No way, really?
So beautiful, dude. I had that thing for 8 years.
Why would we bring this up?
No, honestly, to be fair, the first picture Kelly and I saw from our fucking house, to know that it was actually burnt down, was from TMZ.
Oh.
They sent a drone in there. And also because they started, the first homes they're talking about are celebrity homes. And that's not fair because the community of the Palisades, all of our neighbors and that community, honestly, were people that had lived there for 30, 40 years. It was, it was people that had raised their kids there, were having their grandkids there. And a lot of those people, their home burns down at 70 years old. It's we don't have time to rebuild. But there's a little elementary school across the street, and they had these dudes on bikes with, wooden boxes behind them. They would, ride the kids home from school. It really was like that movie Pleasantville. I don't know. It was just such a well done, community.
It's a nice place.
Yeah.
I've gone to a lot of
Yeah.
We used to go to a lot of recovery meetings up there, and it was just it would be the most nicest thing on Saturday. We'd pull up and people would
Would
park.
you go to the church on Via de la Paz?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the road I lived on. I lived 2 blocks, maybe even 1 block from that church, because my buddy said he used to have meetings over there.
Dude, yeah, they had some of the best meetings in the world were there, really. And it was just such a special energy over there. If you go walk and go over to that smoothie shop that's over there, and they got those acai bowls.
Yeah.
And then they got the little restaurant right across the street from it.
Yeah.
That's right near that Starbucks in that big pink, that whole building.
Are you talking the Village and stuff?
Yeah, no, it's there's that Starbucks
that
on the
little
corner.
side- okay, yeah,
and there's
yeah,
that
yeah.
little place that has breakfast right around the corner from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd go park at the Gelsons and sit there, and
Yeah.
people would talk before the AA meetings, and then we'd walk
Yeah.
over to the meeting together.
Oh, good.
But it was just a nice, it was yeah, man, that place it's a great place. I'm sorry that happened, man. Were you guys able to go in and get stuff out, or what was that like?
Nah, I mean, so when the fire started, we could see it start from, because in that area of Via de la Paz, you have a good vantage point. You got some altitude to you, so we could see where the fire started. And I would say it was probably about 3.5, 4 miles maybe at our 12 o'clock. And the winds really weren't that bad at that point. It was scary because we were seeing the fire, start to encroach on some homes. And so you're watching a home, with this fire going towards the home, you're just feeling for that family, whoever's there, and then turn on the news. And because there's one road out, I mean, it was already kind of it got serious very fast. And, people were abandoning their vehicles. It's women running with babies. And this was it within an hour of this fire kind of starting. And so I was taking care of my grandma at the time because my grandpa had just passed away around Christmas. So I was in the process moving her out with me. And so, she's got some meds and she's slow moving. So I was like, hey, grandma, maybe no rush, but, let's start getting your meds together. And we grabbed a couple T-shirts. I grabbed 2 Grateful Dead shirts. We thought we'd be in a hotel for a couple nights. And but no, I remember at one point my brother-in-law calling my wife, and he's like, make sure Miles grabs that Kobe jersey or that Eagles thing. And I was like, what? I couldn't come to terms with. I just couldn't face the reality. I did not think our neighborhood was going to burn down. There's no brush. It would have had to jump 6 lanes, which it did. But I just remember thinking where do you, it's like, where do you stop? If I take this off the wall, then there's just too much. I think it's kind of overwhelming, but it's funny because I always told Kelly, like, if a natural disaster happens, something like that, you're going to drive the truck, load everything in the back. I'm going to take my Bronco. But when it's actually happening, you're like, no, obviously, I have, make sure my wife and,
stick
my
together.
grandma and, and our dog and stuff. So no, we really didn't grab, I'm saying even little shit, like when you're at home, I imagine you have like a favorite coffee mug. If you drink coffee or just something that you have has some history to it. It's like, just none of that stuff. Truly, it's like everything I've acquired in life, gone. Yeah, it's wild.
Was there feelings after that? Like, because that's like, I mean, that's such a, it's traumatic. Is there anything in a weird way, and I don't mean this, is there anything cathartic in some weird way about it? Does that sound crazy to think? Or is that not a real thing?
No, I think.
And maybe that's super.
No, because there's some people that have lost, I don't know if it was their main home. There are certainly people that have talked about that kind of baptism of it. But I told Kelly, this was like a couple of days after, I said, look, I know at some point, especially when we have kids, if we're fortunate to have kids, and we're giving them life lessons, that's what it's all about. Parent, you've been through the thing they're going through, more or less. And I said, the fact that we'll be able to sit down with our kids and say, when your mother and I were, your age or this age, we lost everything and we figured it out. And I know that as a couple, that really is going to just make us stronger. We didn't have any cracks before, but certainly, like when you go through something like this, it bonds you in such a way. And then she told me, stop bright-siding me. I said, what the fuck is bright-siding? She goes, it's this term I'm learning on Instagram. It's or TikTok. She's like, bright-siding is when you're telling somebody this thing, no matter what it is, something traumatic, and they're like, well, look on the bright side. You have your health. Yeah. And it's like, it kind of invalidates the thing they're going through. But I know what you're talking. I know, for me, I guess I feel that more like when I move, if I ever move, and you go through everything you own, you're like, oh my God.
That's what I'm
I don't
thinking
care about
more.
half this shit.
That's what I'm thinking of more,
Yeah.
just like spring cleaning. I'm like, what
Yeah.
dude, that's a horrible comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, but it's valid. I had this director I worked with, his house burned down, and he felt like it was, and we know, right, you shouldn't have attachment to things, right? That doesn't really fill you up as much as relationships do and this and that. But the things I'm talking about, they weren't, even though they're considered material, it was
a
just
home.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the other feel of just like not having whatever home means to you, like a place where you go back, it's yours. Like we've been getting kicked out of rentals. Like they tell you we have it for 3 months. They're like, now somebody else coming in. So that just kind of thing.
Damn.
But yeah.
Man.
But it's all good.
Well, thanks for entertaining some of those questions. Yeah, I didn't, and maybe you've talked about that ad nauseum, man. And yeah, and I'm sorry if you have. I just didn't. I didn't really think about that. I watched your movie, dude.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I watched it last night, man. I thought it was really great. I thought it was one of the things you talked about a few minutes ago made me kind of even think about it. It was like when you look around your rental place that you're at now, that there's not even things that are there's not pieces of you that are spaces or memories, or you can walk past something and think like, oh, Kelly and I were there, or that's one of our first vacations, or that's where we got a dog, or different things like that, right? And it kind of reminded me of just some of the like the archives that because the movie's called Eternity. And,
right.
And it's basically, can you just give me a brief summation of what it's like? Because you'll do a better job.
So when you die, you get put with somebody, and then you take a train, and then you get kind of deposited in this like Grand Central Station meets like World's Fair kind of place. You get an afterlife coordinator, and then the rules are you get to live eternally. You pick an eternity, but once you pick, you're in that for forever. Yeah. And so the eternities have different themes. There's like capitalism world, or like smoking world.
Yeah,
or
Marilyn
like,
Manson world.
Yeah, Manson world.
Chocolate world.
Yeah, you can get down with whatever. Somebody was like, I want an eternity where it's like Miami Beach, spaghetti, and cocaine. I was like, well, that's Miami. That's like, I think you can actually go there now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's a night at Carbone. That's
Yeah,
all that is.
Yeah. Oh, Carbone is so good.
Carbone is good.
Oh my
dude.
God.
Yeah, so-
beautifully. I thought it was just beautifully shot. I just thought it was really just a really original script. You know
That's
what I
what I
mean?
thought.
It's like
It's so original, and it makes you think about like if I do pass away, it gave me like
well, you will pass away.
oh yeah, shit. Dang,
You know, I've just
bro.
been thinking, well, I don't know. Biohacking is crazy right now.
A lot of
You know what I mean?
haters.
Yeah.
A lot of haters
I was
in
thinking
here.
if I do pass away, well, yeah, debatable. Yeah.
But it was great because your character's wife,
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Olsen, right? She passes away, and then she has to choose between her first love
Yeah, this dude who's been waiting, he passed away in the Korean War. He's been waiting like 60-something years
and
for
you-
her.
right? And you, who are at the kind of like at the Grand Central Station now
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You guys are both kind of waiting for her in a way.
Yeah, well, I didn't know he was still waiting
Right.
for her.
Are we giving away too much of it, you think?
No, that's in, I think that's like in the trailer.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
like in the first 10 minutes. Kind
Yeah.
Of. But it's kind of fascinating because then she shows up and now you two are kind of vying for her affections.
Yeah.
And then who does she stay with? Does she stay with this first love that she lost and didn't
Right.
get to have a life with? Or does she stay with this love that she already got to have a life with?
Yeah.
And it's just,
And there was like, some people were telling me, it's like, oh man, that's my nightmare. People that have been, been widowed and moved on, this and that. But look, I think it really makes you think about, your own life and what's beyond, and family, and I don't know.
well, and how long love lives.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that was
yeah.
part of it. Like, I remember when I've done, and this is a little bit of a weird sidebar, but like when I've done like DMT, it's like
Yeah.
the only feeling that you're left with is that the only important feeling, as it feels like you're leaving
Oh, yeah.
the existence, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
love was the most important thing and that everything else was just a complete fool's errand.
Yeah.
Um,
And also that, because what you were talking about, but you get this feeling that your consciousness, which is who we are, is really, this really is just kind of this vessel, this physical form,
Totally.
but who you are exists whenever you've been in a situation where you feel like you've left your body, but you still, think like yourself, you still feel like yourself, and that kind of remains intact.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good,
Yeah.
and we're not saying that you know what I'm talking about, but
Right.
we're just saying that yes, the consciousness of who we are
Yeah.
still exists
Yeah.
outside of our vessels. That's
Absolutely.
what certain experiences have made me feel like.
Yeah.
And that consciousness is still able to evaluate that love is so important.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I thought.
No, but also I've thought about that too. I'm like, I think the most important thing in life for me really is, it's like relationships. To me, that's the thing when I imagine when I'm sitting there on my deathbed, if I'm lucky enough to,
If you die.
yeah, if I die, to,
Because we have a new package for you. over
right,
here.
sure, I can't wait. Give me that longevity, whatever it is.
We got a new peptide for
Yeah,
you.
perfect, dude. Kelly will show me like one thing, somebody talking about some product. I'm like, yeah, sure, sounds good. What was it, bee pollen sperm? Like, yeah, I can put it in a smoothie, babe. But no, but it's like relationships. Like to me, that's what I'm be thinking. I'm not gonna be thinking about this, that Bronco or that movie or that. I'm gonna be like, man, I'm gonna be thinking about my wife, my my buddies, my my family, my relationship with whatever higher being I have, and I think that's kind of and that's what I get the most. Like the return from what you put into relationships, that's what you're going to get back. I just think that's always kind of led me on a good path in life.
Yeah, it's like, I know sometimes I feel like I've almost spent too much time working. One of the nice things, like I recently kind of have gotten to take a break from touring because I'd been kind of touring pretty heavily for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And maybe really for probably 15 years. And so like I've been able to like go to football games and like maybe try to plan a date and go on a date, not be like,
Yeah.
try to pick up the pieces all the time and stuff like that. And like, yeah, just things like that. To be able to see a friend like a couple weeks in a row or know that you're going to be able to keep the relationship going, stuff like that is, yeah.
And when
just-
it's not just sandwiched in between,
Yes.
it's like, okay, I have 1.5 days, I have this thing on Friday, this thing on Monday, whatever. Yeah, that's never, enjoyable.
It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like
No,
there's
you
any
need to have
space.
some time to yourself. And I've like, even with filming, man, I've kind of always been pretty good. Obviously, if it's, I have no problem going like back to back to back if it's the right thing. But other than that, for me, it's got to be really special because you take time. Like I enjoy my Miles life. I enjoy my life with my friends and my family and, Kelly and this and that. So to have the time to, like you said, kind of nourish those relationships is so important.
Yeah.
And just figure out who, like, I don't know, get back to what you like.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I thought it was interesting how in the movie, who is the so you get to like the Grand Central Station, right? Like this sort of this purgatory type of place.
Yeah.
And they connect you with an afterlife coordinator.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, there's like, it's almost like this mall of like afterlives they're trying to sell you or shop to you.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, here's one. It's just a Bed Bath and Beyond forever.
Right.
And you're just in a
Right, yeah,
you're
yeah,
in a
yeah.
candle and lotion shop forever. Or here's one, it's at the beach. You're at the beach forever.
Yeah.
Or skiing forever.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like Willie Nelson world. And it's
Yeah,
just like
hell yeah.
everybody there looks like Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And that's all they do.
Yeah,
all
you're
the
just with
time.
people that love, you guys love the same shit.
Right, so you can, and you get to go there and you're going to meet other people that love Willie Nelson and
Yeah.
it's going to be Willie Nelson forever, right?
Hell yeah.
But they give you like this afterlife coordinator, like you said, and those characters were great in yours, man.
Yeah.
They got
Devon Joy Randolph, who won the Supporting Actress Oscar for The Holdovers. And then John Early, who is I'm sure some people watching this like know who John is. He's got some really incredible stand-up specials.
Bring him up. I don't know if I was familiar with him or
a couple
if
shows too. He's impressive, man.
Bro, they were killing me, dude. Some of the looks he was giving.
Yeah, I know.
was
He's pretty
so-
sassy in this movie, which I love.
Bro, that shit was hilarious,
Yeah.
dude. I got to touch base with this guy.
Yeah.
I got to watch more of his stuff. But yeah, dude, that was great. And then how, it was just like, man, she'd had this love that had died in the war, and it was like, and she'd waited and then she'd met you. And it was just like, and then like there was this moment where you realized that, I don't want to give any more away.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also harrowing to think of like how many women were widowed by war,
Oh yeah, right.
Like
yeah.
how often
No, I
did that
mean,
happen? Pull that up actually. Can you see how many women were widowed by?
Yeah, man, I forget what they said the average lifespan was for when they stormed Normandy, but it was they're getting mowed down.
Wow, it says for World War I alone, approximately 3 to 4 million women were widowed due to the roughly 9.7 million military deaths.
Wow.
Other conflicts show varied figures.
Yeah, because also women were married pretty young. Do you like touring?
Yeah, you almost get addicted to it though in
Yeah.
some ways
Yeah.
because it's a great time. It's fun. You want to go see people that want to pay attention,
Yeah.
And I would start going to smaller markets. Like we did like 250 something markets over the past 4 years.
Wow.
With this tour. And it was it's great. But then it starts to become a lot. It just was a lot.
I imagine you're like, yeah, of course you want to, that's like,
You want to see everybody, you want to make everybody happy.
yeah, and it's like whenever I go somewhere and if there's some event, an event, and you can tell, okay, these are actually fans. These aren't just scalpers or dudes trying to sell your autograph. It's like, yeah, of course, I make movies for people to see them, and so the fans are a product of that. It's like, yeah, I love doing that stuff. You just feel like, yeah, of course, we're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't exist in a vacuum. Like you want to bring a smile to somebody's face, especially those smaller markets that don't get the acts that, the other spots do.
Yeah, we've had so much fun. I mean, from places like Casper, Wyoming, to Beaumont, to Toledo. I mean, we've done like so many markets, and then we're like, oh, well, these other places that we can go to. And then we'll do like a lot of just meet and greets after the show. We'll just go pop out and meet people. So,
Yeah.
You'll be sitting out there just hugging people and like checking in on folks and like getting a temperature of humanity and stuff like that. And it feels good. It almost feels in a little way like you live everywhere kind of in some ways. Because you realize that there's just so many great people, who are like a lot of like, are all kind of searching for some of the same things, I think with this podcast, sometimes it's a bit more than just kind of like jokes and information. Sometimes it's like just like kind of creating a connection, Yeah, show me that chart again, man. Thank you for asking, though, man.
Yeah, of course.
The Civil War had 620,000 to 750,000 military deaths, high widowhood. Let me see. World War I estimated around 325,000 widows. World War II, around 405,000 widows. Korean War, and that was the war that your co-actor died in this movie.
Yes.
Around 36,000 widows. But yeah, when you just think of all those women. And there was a moment where she said she went and sat at the boat docks and was waiting for the boat he was on to come in. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh. So I think that was one thing that was neat about Eternity to me was like, there's this fun like thing going on where you guys are like, figuring out these different worlds, like the afterlife, and it's super entertaining. But then there's also like, there was this sort of like emotion, like kind of pretty emotional stuff going on with like, yeah, how do we look at love? And like, if you've already gotten to live one love, if you got to go back, would you choose a different one? And yeah, it was just.
Yeah, it's certainly.
cool.
I mean, what I enjoyed about reading the script and kind of when we performed it was that it never loses its kind of grounding and the stakes and the sincerity of it. There's some really funny moments and there's some kind of but nothing ever becomes like slapstick. It's not a movie where we're just trying to get in as many one-liners as we can. I think it always kind of it's just a delicate balance between having that sincerity and the love, but also I do think it's really funny.
Yeah.
I think it's just again we did the premiere in Toronto, man. We just had like at the after party, you could just tell people were kind of coupling off and just talking. It just makes you think. I think it's a beautiful film.
One of my favorite parts too is just right in the beginning when they're driving in that car together, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I could have watched those two people in that car.
That's the Northeast, dude. But also, it's just couples that have been around for that long. Just this natural, just kind of. You're not going to offend me, and just bullshit, banter, bickering, complaining.
And they're both. Neither one of them is saying everything they're doing is just kind of like making the other one like whatever they're saying a problem. Dude.
Yeah. I think my wife and I secretly enjoy to like. Kind of fucking annoy each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably part of love, probably.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of annoyance, a little bickering. I didn't realize that Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that she was related to Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I know, a pretty dynamic
family.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
wild. Did you get to meet them? Did they come by the set?
They did not. No, they did not.
It's so crazy because they had a childhood stardom lives. That had to be so odd.
Yeah. I know it tends to, and they've become very successful, in the design
outside of it,
space. Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's tough.
It'd be a nightmare. Do you feel like it affected you?
If I was what?
Did you feel like as you started to become popular at a pretty young age, do you feel like you were kind of baked into you already? Or do you feel like if it had been earlier, like, do you have any thoughts about that? Like,
I think for me, things happened kind of at the pace that lined up with my own kind of maturity or life experiences. Because, it's like I went to college for 4 years and trained there. And so, yeah, I was like 22 when I did my first movie, maybe I was like 24, 25 when Footloose came out and the Project X and that kind of thing. And I was doing some college comedy type stuff. So that was all good. I think had I gotten really famous when I was like 17. I was raised really well. I never had to worry about my parents or somebody taking money from me, which happens a lot. It's really unfortunate. That's really a shame to lose trust. That young from loved one. I think that's going to fuck you up for the rest of your life. Truly.
Oh, that's a good point.
But yeah, for me, it was like honestly pretty organic. I felt like I was able to handle, and also when I moved out to LA, a bunch of my boys from high school all moved out, so I didn't like need anything from LA. I didn't come to LA to like find myself. I'm like, no, I know who I am, and me and my buddies get a house or whatever in the valley, and I always had like familiar faces around me.
Oh, that's so nice.
Even my agent, I met her on my first movie. She's been the same ever since. Like that shit to me hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I think I was lucky in that sense that a bunch of my boys were like, yeah, we'll go.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's dope. Dude, were they acting too?
The one the one moved out. We played in a band together in high school. I think he was trying to do something maybe music wise. But no, yeah.
It's a tough. Getting LA is hectic. What was y'all's band name in high school?
We were the Mutes because we all started because we played like the homecoming parade, and then the power went out for our generator, so the amps, there was no sound. So that's enough of a reason to, that's a band name right there. I think we actually were playing for SWAT, like on the SWAT float, which was
Really, like the like SWAT team?
no, like students working against tobacco. Yeah, you don't remember SWAT? It was like Dare and like SWAT.
No, dude. We had a DARE officer named Mr. Bob, and R.I.P. He passed away. Everybody knew who he was. But he would like pull up, and he was a humongous man. And this is back when, if a man was very big,
What does DARE stand for again?
Drug Abuse Resistance Education.
Because I instantly just think of whatever the ones that people would make up their own.
Oh, the
acronyms
meme
for.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the meme DARE ones? I don't even know if I know any of them.
No, I just remember in high school people would say, "Oh, drugs are really expensive."
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah. Well, especially in Florida if you got some good drugs. But dude, SWAT.
so what happened with the officer?
It was students working against tobacco?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Working against tobacco?
Yeah, there it is, dude. SWAT was big. SWAT was big time. I'm surprised.
Bro, that's
We're
sketch on the right. Zoom in. That's
Dude.
sketch on the right, dude. What the fuck is he doing there?
Yeah, see, Inventors Laboratory, Big Tobacco. Like, Big Tobacco's going down. Let's go. I don't even know what the fuck, because, yeah, they would have meetings.
Bro, that is sketch. I can't even believe you guys. He was locked in with that
Well, that's
shit.
not my high school. So he was, yeah. But our float probably looks, you just needed some dude with a flatbed, and then you just throw some streamers on it.
Bro, I've never heard that in my life.
Funny.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, okay.
I do remember. Yeah, try it on Perplexity. See what they got.
Yeah.
Pull up some of the DARE memes.
So
real
what
quick.
did Officer Bob, what was his big moment? Yeah, see, drugs are really exciting.
Don't actually recover ever.
Whoa, Jesus.
That's heavy.
Drop everything and run.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, but it was like people screaming, "I won't do drugs" or whatever. But Officer Bob was huge, dude. And one year he pulled up and he could not get it. He couldn't even get out of his car, right? So he had to do the talk from a megaphone from his vehicle. And people were like, what? And it just sounded like so garbled and stuff. And like, and then they would hide a sack of weed in some kid's bag or whatever in the audience. And a dog would just go,
Like a real bag of weed?
yes. Or something that the dog could smell. So I'm guessing it was
okay.
because it was like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
put weed on one of the kids and
Oh,
all the
wow.
kids would be like,
And then they just sick a fucking German Shepherd on the kid?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
yeah, pretty awesome.
We, dude, there was some weird stuff in my high school
dude,
too,
in Florida?
man. And every teacher's coach, every teacher in our high school was coach because they used to coach a basketball team or they coach. I remember one dude, he coached it was like the debate team or something, and he was still coach.
Oh, dude, yeah, they would just pick like whoever the lesbian teacher was at our school was also had to be the drama teacher for some reason. Like,
That was ours for a minute. Our softball coach, lesbian, ended up a couple years after I graduated. She was having a relationship with like a sophomore.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's unfortunate, and that's Florida. That's I don't know what that is, but that's
Well, a lot of the times it is Florida.
it's Florida, and that's
Yeah.
softball.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not, but
But yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of inner.
have you ever been down to Key West though? Key West's like my happy place.
Is it, dude?
Yeah, just killer live. Some of the I think best live music in countries like there. Austin, obviously, like in Nashville. But yeah, Austin or Key West, man, just killer music. You just either you're walking around the whole time, or if we go in a big group, everyone's just on these like little scooters. Every bar looks like it just went through a hurricane.
Yeah, I got to go down there.
So fun, dude.
I always hear Nick Swartzen loves it down there.
Oh yeah, he lived down there he was just supposed to go for like a couple of weeks or something. Stayed at this hotel for like months.
Yeah, he spent like almost
Spent
$1 million.
a shit ton of money.
I think like almost just under $1 million.
That's
bucks.
hard in Key West too. because you will get them oysters still for like a quarter during happy hour.
Oh, dude.
I don't know how you fucking spend $1 million. Actually, he needs to write a book.
How to spend $1 million.
Yeah, how to spend $1 million in Key West. Oh my god,
Dude,
you like?
he's a fucking John Daly of Key West,
Yeah.
dude. What was I gonna fucking talk about?
I don't know.
Oh, dude. It was the I feel like somebody's been blowing weed smoke in here right
John
now.
Daly, baby.
But SWAT,
Yeah.
this
Students working against tobacco, Theo.
yes.
Yeah,
And
because if they're not doing it,
yeah, that's true.
tobacco's just running rampant.
It's like a Agatha
Oh,
Christie novel.
they're still rocking and rolling.
SWAT is Florida's statewide youth organization working to mobilize, educate, and equip
Oh, it's specifically a Florida thing.
to revolt against and
way.
de-glamorize tobacco. Yep. Wow.
Wow, dude. Well, that makes. I thought it was like a national program.
Yeah, I'd
but I
never
guess
heard
we never did go on field trips.
Yeah,
You know
this
what I
is
mean?
it. No, this was a this was an experimental program down there in the fucking South. Dude, there's
80%
4,300
of high schoolers vape now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 4,300 active youth though in the SWAT SWAT youth in the state of Florida, and so shout out to them.
Yeah.
We had this thing, so we had to build a float one time. It was for the homecoming parade.
Yeah.
And my buddy Patrick, we had to make like this tree. Ours was like the tree of life or something or whatever, or keep growing or something like that. And my buddy Patrick, he was gonna, we're like, dude, Patrick, you stay in the tree, stay in the middle, light up a blunt in there and just blow smoke out of the, like if you blow enough smoke, some of it will just keep a hole in the top of the tree. Some of it will leak out. So we're pushing this down the street and everybody will, and nobody will know, but there'll be you'll be in there to super high, and it's all like, you know.
Oh, you're saying not okay? So I was thinking like you cut a hole out of the trunk, so it's like his face and just like roasting blunts or something. But you're saying just a little hole just so he could breathe.
Yeah.
But he was hotboxing this tree.
Well, we forgot about a breathing hole. We just thought put him in the tree, like in the trunk of the tree. The trunk is fully built around him.
Okay.
It's like this whole paper mache and wire setup that's going to be on a float, and then there's this big kind of bulb atop of him, almost like a very small water tower would be kind of look.
Okay.
And that is all adorned with green paper mache and everything. That's a big tree. And then we'll put a hole on top of that. So Patrick, you just stand in there and keep smoking blunts, and some of the smoke will leak out the top. It'll be awesome. We'll love it.
And you'll be very fucking high, dude.
He was so fucking high, dude. It's like
Yeah,
a 2-hour parade.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see any of the smoke coming out. It was just him like smoking countless Black and Mild blunts in this tree. And then we got him there, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he couldn't go to school for one whole week. He couldn't go to school for one whole week, dude. His mom had to stay home with him. It was the most high person that we'd ever seen in our area. It was fun.
That dude couldn't go to school for a week.
And he hasn't been
It hasn't been the same since.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same. What was something like, how long did you guys
Patrick, it's gonna be awesome, dude. He's gonna sit there, he can smoke as much weed as you want, you know.
and sometimes you would for the first like 2 blocks you could hear him yell, "Can y'all see the smoke?" But after that, there was no sound coming out of there. It was almost
He's
like,
probably dead. He probably died for a second.
well, he was almost like when those kids got trapped in that mine, you know, after the second day they couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Did you know that over 85% of grass-fed beef sold in America is actually imported? Yep. It can be born, raised, and harvested overseas. Then we bring it here, it gets repackaged and gets a product of the USA label. Yeah. That's lying. It's dishonest. It's deceitful. So that's when I started looking for something I could trust. And that's why I found Good Ranchers. Good Ranchers meat is high quality, 100% American, and all of their cuts come from local farms and ranches. I can't speak more highly of this young company. And they deliver it right to your door. I myself am a subscriber to Good Ranchers. And let me just say, the quality of this meat is exactly what meat should be. It's good. Visit goodranchers.com to start your own subscription today. When you start your subscription this November and use our code Theo, you'll get $100 off your first 3 orders. You'll also get to pick which of their best-selling cuts you want free in every order for life. That's free chicken breast, free Wagyu burgers, or free bacon. Boom. Yep. In every order for life. Once again, use code Theo for $100 off plus free meat for life when you subscribe. Seriously, that's Good Rancher's best offer ever. But you have to order by December 1st to claim this deal. GoodRanchers.com, American meat delivered. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. As seasons change and the days grow darker, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones. Maybe text your stepdaddy, text him tickle, tickle. See what he writes back. I've had friends over the years I was afraid to reach out to. Maybe there was something had happened and I didn't want to deal, and it always was just kind of spinning around in the back of my head. BetterHelp. They can help. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Theo. That's betterhelp.com/THEO. On when you're shooting a movie like that, like at this point when you go into a film, like are there things you want to have on set that make your day easier? And then what's that shoot schedule like on a day-to-day basis for somebody kind of at your level? Like, do you still have to shoot every single scene? Do they shoot around some stuff? Like, what's the reality of that?
No, I mean, I think I've been fortunate enough to work on some great projects with some great actors. For the most part, some really incredible directors that wanted to be the first one there, last one to leave. I just think it's important that kind of right off the bat, people understand it's like, I'll be here for anything you need. Because a lot of the time, if you got to, maybe for the shot or whatever, the eye line's tight, they want you to work with just like an X on the thing. And some people are really good working that way. For me, I have to feel the connection with, whoever I'm working with. And so for a bigger budget movie, sure, there's certain things that you can kind of build into your contract to make you as comfortable as possible. But at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit, man. I'm pretty low maintenance. It's just like whatever we need to do to make the best movie possible. I'm in. I'm fully in. Anything you need from me, I'm here. And also, I think I approach film or just acting in general like, I grew up loving, I played sports, and every sport, it was like team sports always, and playing music, and that kind of just being a link in the chain. Like to me, that's that's how it has to happen. So I enjoy that camaraderie. I enjoy that teamwork. As I've moved up in my career, I take it upon myself to really like lead from the front. If I'm number one on the call sheet, like and if I'm producing the thing, like it's important to me to know everybody's name and just to feel like we're all kind of in this thing together. I think when you're making a movie and you're just kind of come out for your stuff, go back to your trailer, it's fine and everybody works differently. But just for me, I need to really feel that kind of camaraderie.
Part of the squad.
Yeah, part of the squad, man.
Yeah, it is so much fun. Like even like because the fact that something gets created really out of nothing, right? Like there's words get created and put onto a page, and then you want to make sure there's enough.
I think writing is probably the hardest out of all of the disciplines. I can't imagine just staring at a blank page. Page one, scene one.
You don't start thinking about. You don't do that stuff.
What, right?
Will you write a script or no?
No, I think I'm better at when if writers already have an idea, or I feel like I'm good at kind of collaborating within the scene work and framework of the script, and I'll certainly kind of help shape things 100%. I think most actors through improvisation or through talking with the writer absolutely inform the material to a good amount. Some scripts you don't really need to touch at all, but I think I'm better at coming in. I don't have the first idea, but I'm good at, okay, that's great, and now this. But also I truly believe in like best idea wins. And so when you work with a director who's really collaborative and whose ego isn't so precious to where they can take inspiration from, the people around them. I think that's really beautiful. I think you have to feel collaborative. I think the only time I get upset when I'm filming is when I feel like I'm working with like a dictator, and that I don't feel comfortable to kind of speak up about. I don't like closed-minded people. Closed-minded people, to me, that's when I guess I really don't like authority figures. And I thought getting into arts, like that's a great path for me. Because we're all, it's a collaborative medium in nature. But yeah, I don't like when people lead with an iron fist too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, dude. What did I see? I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, one part of the movie that was interesting to me was there was a moment where they were kind of where she had chosen an eternity, so she chooses one of the men. But then you can go look at archives. You can kind of go back into a museum of your life.
Okay, yeah, that's a really...
It was
interesting part of it.
Yeah, it was just neat to see like how that. It's just nice to see that if that happened, like if we pass away, which you are a believer of, that we get to go through almost like this zoo where there's different exhibits of scenes from your life that meant
your memory.
something.
Yeah, your memories.
Yeah,
I think people that term like core memories now is something that's kind of become in vogue.
Yeah, that was kind of fantastical, but that was one thing that I thought was pretty dope about it. Oh, what about a heist movie, dude? I just saw this heist. See if you can see.
How about that the Louvre?
That's it,
I mean,
bro.
that's the... I mean, that wasn't a movie. That's the friggin' news, dude.
Yeah.
But that is wild. I mean...
How the Louvre jewelry heist unfolded.
On the south side. The heist took a matter of minutes.
Bridge crane.
Here's how it happened. At 9:30 on Sunday, 4 individuals arrived on scooters in a truck that had a mechanical ladder attached to the back of it. 2 of them ascended to the balcony and used power tools to carve into the outside window.
It's crazy. None of that. I mean, I have alarms on my windows if something opens.
They burst inside the Apollo gallery that houses all of the Louvre's special royal jewels and used their saws to break into 2 of those cases. In the meantime, we've been told that the security guards really quickly got people out of that room. This very wing of the Louvre also contains the Mona Lisa, so it's the most sort of precious things in France are there, but only 75% of the rooms have security cameras in them. 4 minutes later, they emerge with 8 precious items, including tiara, necklaces, a beautiful brooch, and a crown.
How'd they get away, Nick?
Worn by...
They escaped out the window and they took off on scooters that they had planted.
Dude, that seems like almost it would be...
Yeah, you just think like more security.
It's like what you and I would decide.
Like, two
guys would decide like, hey, let's go get the Louvre.
Let's steal that fucking, steal that crown.
Yeah. Oh, my wife is upset. She doesn't have a crown or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, let me see how I can figure it out.
Give us 9 minutes. Bro, no, but also it's like, so what, then they sell this, like, do they take it apart and sell it on the black market? Do they just need to hold on to it until, like after generation and then try and
then say it
get
just
rid
popped
of it?
up somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know.
True. How do you get rid of something like that? Oh, it's almost pretty magical that they were able to do it.
But no, I think it's, it certainly gives, truth to these heist movies and stuff. You're like, no way. It's like, well, you can do it with just a little saw.
Yeah.
Actually, and a scooter. You don't even need like switching identities and shit. It's like, no, but that's what I was wondering. When the dude's in there like banging his, like just like carving through this glass, nobody's like, because obviously it was full of people.
Hey, quiet down.
Yeah. No, that's incredible to me.
Hey, quiet down. I can't hear the guided tour over here. Dude, that's crazy, bro. And the Mona Lisa, dude, Lisa, that looks more like a dude, I think.
Yeah.
But
that was stolen.
It was stolen?
At one point. Not in this, but I think back in the it's like the 70s or something, Mona Lisa was stolen.
I wonder if it was really stolen or somebody faked having. See, this is what I think happens sometimes. These museums fake having stuff stolen to get people to come to the museum or to add like texture and story to their place. Yes, the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, 1911.
Yes, the Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911.
From the Louvre. The Louvre needs to button up, dude. The Louvre is like, what are you guys doing? No wonder you keep getting robbed. It's like obviously not that hard.
Dude, it's a fucking halfway house for art, dude. They gotta figure this shit out, dude. He
Got
disguised
a ring camera, my guy. Like, what are you doing?
He disguised himself. He disguised himself as a museum employee, hid overnight inside the museum. That's the move. And took the painting the next morning by removing it from its frame and concealing it under his smock. The theft was not discovered until the following day, and the painting was hidden in Perugia's apartment in Paris during that time. Dude, when I was growing
You
up,
can't tell anybody about it.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't even get.
You can't put it on display. I have no idea. I really don't know how you move this stuff.
And you get high and definitely tell somebody.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's how, I mean, that's kind of usually how they end up catching, you know, criminals on that most wanted list. Like they slip up, they tell somebody something.
Bro, I'm so high right now. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
But I murdered a couple people.
Oh, yeah, great. Yo. Wild. Yeah. Remember that shit I told you last night? Like, I was just, man, we were fucked up.
Yeah.
We were fucked up. You said you murdered someone. I said I did. Like, yeah.
We were both
It
just
was a
joking.
goof. Yeah, it was a goof.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
goof. You've had so many interesting experiences. You got to work with Tom Cruise. Was that pretty fascinating? Did you get to meet him before you got to work with him? And sorry if some of this seems like a little bit petty, but I don't know anybody that ever met him.
Oh, yeah, no, Tom, I mean, yeah, Tom's great. I had worked with that director before. I had done 2 movies with him, I think at that point. Oh, no, I had done 1 movie with him at that point. But yeah, I mean, I flew, I had to audition for it. I think they were down to like a couple guys. Flew and, you know, did audition with Tom. He's very disarming. I mean, but for some reason, I didn't feel like I was going to be nervous around him. I have like obviously an immense amount of respect for the guy, but he's such like a consummate professional, and he's one of our great actors. And his filmography, I think, if you attach commercial and critical, I think this run that he, you know, has went on multiple times through his career is going to be very hard to touch. But yeah, he really cares about the work, and he labors over the script. I mean, we would have a meeting when we were filming. He's like, all right, we're going to meet. We're going to talk about, you know, this scene that exists on page like 50 or something. But you always start page 1, scene 1, and you start from the very beginning. And then 3 hours later, when we've had all these side conversations about just different parts of the script, by the time you get to the scene we're there to meet about, it's like, well, it's time to go. We'll meet tomorrow. But nobody works harder. He knows everybody's name. He's first one in, last one to leave. But that movie took a long time to make. Everybody was so committed, and also like you have to work in part and parcel and in concert with the Navy. You know, I mean, Navy doesn't stop being the Navy. So if we're filming on a carrier, or we're filming it, you know, in Top Gun, or we're filming all these places, these guys are actively, you know, training nonstop. So. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to kind of work out. Yeah.
So you're having to like work like in between certain days while they're doing stuff, or at night while they're.
Yeah, like I remember when we were on the carrier, we had like, you know, 2-hour window for something to be up on the top deck. But yeah, we were on the carrier for 2 weeks. And I remember I walked by this one sailor. It's like one of my first few days being there. And even though you're on this giant carrier, like you feel like you're on a submarine, because the hallways are very cramped. Everything is metal. There's nothing for comfort. There's nothing extraneous. Like that is an active carrier. It's a wartime, you know, carrier. But it's
basically a weapon.
It's a weapon. I mean, we're launching, you know, aircraft from it. And so, but when you're walking around, I mean, all of the hallway, everything is so tight, even though it's this massive vessel. And I walked by this one sailor and I was like, hey, I was like, living the dream, huh? And he just turns to me and he goes, nightmares are also dreams. And he said it's so cold. I was like, we're on the Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I have so much.
Nightmares are
also dreams. Yeah, because I mean,
that's a good
depending
point.
on what your job is on that carrier. I mean, your job placement, you might be 7 or 8, you know, decks below, and you know, just the nature of operations. Sometimes, like you're kind of that's kind of your territory. Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Do you
I
start?
have so much respect for
Oh yeah.
I mean,
When you think of
military is the best.
what people go through, we're trying to maybe have Gary Sinise come on. I know he's done.
He is. There's nobody that's done more.
Yeah.
That guy is. It's truly been his like life's mission.
To
Yeah,
support-
he's fantastic.
to support veterans. Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's not like the VA. Because I did this movie about guys coming home from wars called "Thank You for Your Service," and it was based on this book, real guys, and that's kind of what you learn. It's like the VA is not broken; it's just overwhelmed, and so and for guys to kind of unpack. And our writer-director was telling me, he's like, Miles, we've known how to send guys to war, men and women to war for centuries. Since the beginning of time, we've known how to create a soldier, but we still don't really know how to bring them back. And it's really complicated. Those programs that are, working for, nonprofit, they can only take so many people. Funding is really important.
And the use of people. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, it's really tough. And also just with mental health in general, the amount of training that it takes for somebody to be able to appropriately deal with someone with, if it's PTSD, if it's bipolar, if it's schizophrenia, whatever it is, it takes a long time to train somebody. And to be able to get them to sit with the person and be able to potentially, change their meds a little bit, somebody that they trust, somebody who has those skills to deal with it. It's very tough. And yeah, that's actually something I have a lot of advocacy for. I think, and also when you talk to people, I think a lot of people have somebody, in their family or with friends that are, dealt with that. And it's just, it's really tough. I think I have, just immense amount of empathy, and that stuff's always, it's more or less, it always kind of, some traumatic event happened at some age, and that leads to, these mental health issues.
Yeah, that's such a great statement. We don't know how to bring these people home, and then how much even at a governmental level, how much value, should there be just as much of a training and untraining program, as much as you're training people for military and for combat, should there be just as much of an untraining?
And also these guys, the guys that they go to war with, those are the guys that understand more than anybody what they went through. But then, they go from being in, a battalion and, being those guys, and then they come home and everybody kind of disperses, and it's tough.
Well, it's like you were saying earlier, just like being able to be part of a group and have that,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it's different, or suddenly even if
shared life experience.
you're put on leave or something because you're in mental condition, then that's got to be even scarier, because now are you maybe struggling, but also you're away from your group, right?
And also each depending on what job you're going for in the military, infantry, different branches, it's a numbers game. We need numbers at all times. And so some of these, some of the boot camps are, X amount of weeks, and it's like, here you go, here's your gun. And when you get more kind of, I guess, tier one.
Senior?
Yeah, where I'm just saying, like our special forces guys, I mean, those guys have been through, a lot of training, and you're usually not in those groups until you're certainly not 18. As a Navy SEAL, it takes, a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been I went to this football game last week. I went to the Vanderbilt football game, and there were two.
Did you go to Vandy?
I didn't, but they just happened to be in Nashville, and I became buddies with their quarterback. And
that quarterback's a real deal.
Bro, he's such a great guy. You would love him, dude.
Yeah,
we went to a UFC fight together. Actually, you weren't at that.
Which
at that
one?
I've
been out of the mix for a little bit just because with the house stuff. But
7 months ago, maybe. I don't remember which one it was. I can't even remember.
How great are those? It's the best.
Well, dude,
at the end of the day, they're gonna fight.
Yeah,
and the time in between is great. You just hang for a little chat, and then it's just when that music comes on, Forever's coming in, just the crowd. I think Madison Square Garden, especially,
that was good.
Or I imagine you were at some of those Connor fights during his heyday.
I got to go to one with him and Dustin. That
Poirier.
was it. But when he came out, it was just crazy.
Yeah, I think I saw you. I saw you at that one.
Yeah,
I know Dustin's your guy. It's a shame when that kind of generation, you're on now to the next group of fighters. But yeah, he's the man.
They have so many great guys, but also being at those events is so much fun. And you also realize that you are nothing. Like, because there's some badasses coming out there. It's like, no matter if you think you're cool or not, you were sitting there looking in awe at some warriors.
Absolutely.
You know? That when it comes down to it, like, they're the people.
One-on-one.
Yes.
It's one-on-one.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
And it's just like such a test of will and man or woman. And like, what do you, like, it makes you ask yourself a lot of things. It's, I find that whole world is pretty
That's
fascinating.
like, I even remember in high school, man, like, I played baseball and,
were you pretty good in high school? You
I
pitched?
was, yeah. No, I pitched up until, I guess it took me a minute to hit my growth spurt. But I was like, stud, kind of early years. And then,
There's
but
probably.
I was saying, even with the football players, like the wrestlers, when you looked at the wrestlers' condition compared to the football players, like you couldn't even compare. Like a lot of my buddies were wrestlers. They're cutting 10, 12 pounds in high school.
Yeah.
Like to have that discipline at 15 to be like, no, I'm skipping lunch. I got to sweat. I got to do a sauna suit or just.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
The amount of discipline for those
driving
guys.
down I remember driving through my neighborhood, and my buddy Paul would literally be running. And this is when we didn't even know we had a wrestling team at our school, right? I think it was like the first year they started. He'd be running down the street in a bunch of trash bags and shit. We're like, oh my God, like he did something bad at home or whatever. Like we just didn't know what it
like a
happened.
punishment.
Yeah.
That's it. It's, I mean.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Do you start to think like, okay, so now you have like kind of like a filmography of your own work? I don't know if that's the right term, but
That's the right word.
do you start to think, okay, this is a genre I would like to do, or I loved that so much, I'd like to find a more unique way to do that? Like, is that something that an actor starts to think about? How do you start to think about, a little bit of like how many movies you want to do, or like what kind of things come into your mind like at your kind of juncture in your career as far as the work goes?
Yeah, I think when I first started out, and even I guess when I was in college and be doing different scenes and stuff in class, I always wanted to, like, I enjoyed drama as much as I, enjoyed comedy. I actually kind of started out when I was in high school. Everybody kind of knew me as like the class clown, and I would play like the comedic relief in plays and stuff. And then I remember doing this very serious monologue, and the whole class just started laughing. Like they couldn't take me seriously. And I remember that pissed me off because I was like, oh, I've lost my audience. Like they just.
Oh, they're locked into that I'm a clown.
Yeah. And so they like, I was like, oh shit. Okay. Now I need to kind of work on this other stuff. I was like, cause like I didn't want to like not be taken, seriously for something. But so I knew starting out, like I had an appetite. I think that's really what it comes down to. It's like, what are your interests? So I've done movies with music. I grew up playing a bunch of instruments. I haven't done a sports movie yet. But love sports, military, my family, my friends. I've done some of that stuff. I've done like a good amount of like blue collar stuff. I like that. But I think as far as the genre goes, every once in a while, you'll watch a film, or maybe it's a certain director who works in a certain genre. You're like, I would love to do that. But I think, it really just comes down to like taste and interest. I think I have a pretty wide range of interests. And I don't really necessarily care what the genre is, as long as it just feels authentic to me.
Can you feel that?
So you can make a bad version of any genre.
Yeah, and I guess you can just feel that when you read the script. You're like, I can fucking see this. I can figure this out.
Yeah, I think I've been fortunate enough to. Now, in the beginning of most careers, right? People are like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" And it's like, "Yo, you thought I had like multiple options? Like, what are you talking about?" Like, no, dude, you're just trying to work professionally. Like, if you can pay your bills as an actor, and it's tough, man. You know how many like you're starting out? It kind of. I think like in your 20s, there's a lot of actors, kind of, we can all play, teenagers, this, that, whatever. Then when you get older, it's like if your audience, wants to grow with you, you got to kind of mature with them. It's like, I imagine a lot of my fans now have like kids and stuff, and that's great. And so I just try to, I don't know. Yeah. I think your best asset would be, I guess when you read a script, if I think it's good, is it? And I, for the most part, I've kind of just went with my instincts and gut. But for the most part, a lot of my career has been, a director's got to take a chance on you. Like I played this boxer, Vinny Pazienza.
My buddy just sent me a link to it. I haven't watched it
Yeah,
yet.
Bleed for this. That's how I met Dana White, because Vinny's like Dana's favorite boxer all time, and he loved the movie. So that's how I got plugged in with UFC early on.
My buddy just sent
he
me
just
this
got in the
yesterday.
boxing Hall of Fame, Vinny. Shout out, Vinny.
Oh, he did?
But he's just
Vinny
a dog.
Pazienza?
Vinny Pazienza, the Tasmanian Devil. But
That's a great name.
dude. But he
Bro, look at him. That's him?
yeah. So he broke his.
Wow.
So he was. He had won some titles early, and then he was kind of the promoters kind of thought he was on the way out.
You played him?
Yeah. So I had so there's footage of him. I mean, with that Halo one. Now, meanwhile, if you mess up more or less with that Halo on, you're going to be paralyzed for life. And there's video of him doing some pretty sick rope work with that Halo on, just working out like a madman. I don't want to give it away, but
Yeah,
it's
don't.
considered just one of sports all-time great comebacks. But yeah, the only movie I had come out right before that, I was in not fat, but pudgy friend shape. You know what I mean? I was I don't need a six-pack. That's BS, man. You need a six-pack if you can't hold their attention with your acting. I mean, it's just all bullshit. I was thinking when I was 25, and I used to not I was like, that dude's ripped. He can't act.
Dang, dude. Yeah, there's so many great actors out there. I think it's just fascinating to watch somebody just be able to create, to be able to carry a story, right? And just be like an instrument, just to be like a word on a page,
Well, it's like we're
There he
we're
is.
shining a mirror up to, society. Really, you're just kind of the great actors, right? You watch them and you obviously believe what they're doing, but then it makes you feel about, your own life. And so it's beautiful. They just really understand kind of the human condition, human experience. I think because a lot of young actors will ask her, what do you think's so important, this and that? I think obviously start from the inside, work from the inside out. And I think just two abilities or curiosities that will really aid you is just empathy. If you're somebody who just, sees somebody in a different, way of life, and you can feel for somebody other than yourself, and then your curiosity. I think that's what's lent me to a lot of projects I've ended up doing, just because I think I've always had a just high level of curiosity and empathy for other people.
Where do you think that comes from for you?
I think I don't know. I guess the way I was raised, we moved around a lot. Well, there was my family, on my mom's side, there was a lot of trouble. My grandma, she buried all of her kids but one, and a lot of them died very young. And I think I come from, a certain kind of stock that. And then my uncle, he was a quadriplegic from the time he was 17. So my entire life, spending a lot of time in nursing homes and, those kind of environments that can be fairly traumatizing for a young kid, to just hearing beeps and people wandering around with, maybe dementia and Alzheimer's. And it can be
Scary.
And they're usually not the most well-lit places, but we're constantly kind of in those environments, and, feeding him at, meals and I don't know, just different things like that. I think
You said wanting to take care of your grandmother whenever you were, when you guys' house went through that trauma and stuff like that. Yeah, I could see that, I guess.
and I moved around a lot. I lived in 5 states by the time I was 12.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So you
I
have to be
think-
willing to open yourself up to people, because you got to be liked. You got to be accepted.
Yeah.
You got to fit in. You got to find a way,
Yeah.
especially as a kid. That's hard for a kid.
Yeah, I think it was easier. Certainly kind of, it's all a part of I think how our personalities develop. Certain things happen in childhood, right? You can dig deep to figure out, that's why I am like
Right,
this, or
right,
that's
right.
why I
But
do
it
that.
is, though. I think for a kid to move to a new place, that's a lot,
Yeah.
Um,
I told my parents when we first moved to Florida from South Jersey, I was like, because I really loved South Jersey, and I was just like, I'm going to paint my walls black. I'm going to be a goth. You're going to be embarrassed by me. I'm going to wear Marilyn Manson shirts when your friends come over. Yeah.
Bro, one of my favorite friends. Finish off.
No, that's it. I'm just thinking back of myself, paint my walls black. And
I'm going to paint my fucking ceiling fan black. Has anybody ever even fucking done that? It's just gonna make black air in the room.
Hell yeah.
Dude, my buddy Jeff, dude, he was hilarious. We would go over to his house, and I've told this part of the story before, but we'd all go outside and get high, and then I would come in the house, and I would come in before everybody. I would tell his dad that they were high, right? And
You
then,
fucking asshole.
oh yeah,
Oh my God. Just to like save yourself.
just because here's what I loved.
You were high with him.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
high,
yeah.
but I didn't tell him that part.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I would say that they were high, and they were seeming some of the behaviors they'd have been doing and seem a little zesty or whatever. Sometimes I'd throw in a little nugget like that, and you could fucking kind of hear his fucking
Put a cigarette out on the lizard.
yeah. You'd see him fucking yeah. He'd put a cigarette out. That energy took over him, dude. If he thought like if kids were being high and zesty, it scared him a little. But anyway, then I would sit in there and wait, and they would come in. And he would just be looking at him, and it was always like, do not tell my dad I'm fucking high. Like, don't worry. Just seeing the dad fucking figure him out, bro. I would lay there in the other room crying of laughter, just knowing that
They're about to get beat.
yes, knowing that this whole scenario had been created.
Yeah.
But my buddy Jeff, dude, he had this like anger sometimes. And he would go play that song. He had one CD, and it was that song, You Gotta Keep Them Separated.
Yeah, Dan. Oh, that's Offspring.
Come out at
Yeah.
He would go in his room, he would beat the drywall out of his room, and then every year for Christmas, his parents would redo the drywall in his room. That was his Christmas present every year. It's fucking sick.
I had a buddy
dude.
like that, and then he ended up kind of working in construction, and so now he like even as an adult, some shit, whatever, fucking kick a hole in his wall, but then he's patching it himself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And Jeff is in the military too, dude. Shout out Jeff. And shout out the lead singer of Offspring. He came up to a show one time, and I told him that story, and I'd
cool.
waited my whole life to tell him that story.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we had so much fun. We just had so much fun, dude. Fuck those
Well, I
ages.
think that's what's nice growing up, like in the town I grew up, was such a small town. It's like, I mean, if we skipped school, it was to like go float down the river, and we would go to the Walmart, and then usually it started out just you buy an air mattress for a couple bucks, but yeah, you're just sitting at the Walmart looking around like Benjamin Franklin, like, all right, well, what do you think we can get to float? And I remember one time we got this like 8 foot by 4 foot kids like swimming pool. We fit like 6 dudes in the and a cooler of beer in the middle, and push off a little bit. Okay, yeah, we're going. It's great.
Dude,
I love
yes.
that. Yeah.
I know I miss of course you miss it, but yeah, I just like that kind of stuff was so much fun. When everything felt so new and the world it felt big in some ways, but your view was so concise kind of.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you're typically not jaded.
You're not worried about anything.
At that point. That's what I noticed when
You just have to eat and lie to your parents.
When I've shot movies in some underprivileged areas, I mean, I'll see these kids playing in what you would basically describe as like a landfill, and they're so happy, and they're just kicking around trash like it's a soccer ball. And you just realize, like, children, like, for the most part, are innately happy. They don't know what else, especially where we were at. It's like they don't know what else is out there. They don't know how we're living, how people are living in other parts of the world.
Yeah,
And it's it's touching, and it's also it's very sweet, but I always, whenever a kid gets kind of their childhood taken away from them too early, or they have to become an adult too early, that's tough. It's
tough.
This was the time, if you just be a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think that would be that would be kind of guaranteed, Maybe one day it will be. Maybe that's where we're all headed.
No, it's tough, man. It's like I know, telling people, adult life's really tough for them, and because it's tough on them, their kid, a lot of time is handed a little more, I think, responsibility or even just emotional.
Yeah, stuff they shouldn't have to think about, that sort of
yeah,
thing. That's the craziest. Dude, I know a guy who used to wake his kids up and get them to pee for him so he could go do drug tests.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
They ran a snow cone stand in our town. I'll probably have to take that part out. We don't have a lot of snow cone stands in our town, so people know who
I know.
they
I gotta
are,
watch it
dude.
because that's like my town. It's just
Anything else you want to tell us about the film? Any reason like why you believe, like, or was there anything like about it that resonated with you after having watched it? Did you give notes on the edits, just or anything like? I don't know.
Yeah, I just think because we had our first premiere up in Toronto, and it was just really wonderful after the film. Like how many people, like you said, because it just really makes you think about your own kind of mortality and loved ones. But people really wanted to. I mean, for me, those are my favorite movies where you're leaves you really thinking. But I think it's just really it's a really funny movie. I think it's really sweet and sincere, and all of Kelly's girls were crying.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's not like too heavy. I mean, there's some moments that are.
You're dealing with heavy. I mean, you're dealing with something that's maybe inevitable or not, based on kind of what you're taking supplements wise and
sure.
how you take care of the dojo, brother. But it's just my wife said it was her favorite film that I've ever been in. Her favorite film, maybe of the last however long. I feel like
that's pretty sweet, huh?
I think it's a movie that I think it fits with kind of the classic romantic comedies that are more character driven. I'm excited. I'm just really excited for people to see it.
And is it coming out in streaming? Is it coming out in theaters?
No, so it comes out in theaters nationwide, like Thanksgiving.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So great holiday film. Take your mom, your grandma, dad, your girl, whatever.
Yeah, I think anybody, a whole family could go see it. I think
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. It's certainly that. And yeah, I do think some of those questions, it made me feel a little bit more upbeat. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It was something that it's certainly something that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, it was very creative. It was very creative. And then when you're thinking about love, you're thinking about the afterlife. You're thinking about the choices that we make and stuff like that. It made me a little mournful that there's some moments you never get to. It's like, oh, I didn't. Like you'll start to think, oh, I didn't have that high school love that lasts forever. But then it's like, but that couldn't even have been a reality in my life. It never would have fit in, right? But it's just interesting to kind of think about things like that. I like thinking about matters of the heart and stuff like that. Oh, the last thing I was going to tell you. So, yeah, I went to the Vanderbilt game, but I saw there was two kids there, and they were there with their dad, and their dad had just gotten back from service. He was in Qatar, and right when I saw the kids, like, oh, dude, my dad saw you perform in Qatar. I went over there and did a thing for the military.
Was it through USO or something different?
No, it was like they were doing like
something for troops. Something.
Yeah, the president was doing something over there, and they were doing some troops thing. Great. But anyway, it was just they're like, "Oh, dude, our dad," and you could just tell. Like I was like, "Oh, how long were you there for?" And he's like, "I was there for a year," and it was just like I don't know. It was just interesting to see this moment, and I was like, "Are you guys dad? You're glad? Are you guys glad your dad is home?" And you could just see like I don't know. It's just. You just see some of the sacrifice. It was just a moment that I had to witness, like kind of firsthand, a little bit of like the sacrifice that
absolutely
that sons deal with, that fathers deal with, that people deal with to keep our country safe. And it's just touching, man.
Yeah, the guy that I played in Thank You for Your Service, Adam Schumann. He, because people say, thank you for your service, and a lot of the time people say that sometimes to just alleviate their own guilt of having not served, but. I've heard guys talk about it. It's weird. You're thanking me for something that I signed up for, or I wanted to do, or you're thanking me for you don't even know what my job was. And it's just a complicated kind of decorative term that we use out of lack of knowing. But he would say the thing that really broke him. He was filling up his his truck with gas, and his Army, the big red one, and guy saw that, and basically just kind of shook his hand and said like, welcome home, son, and glad you got home safe. And that's it's tough. But we can do what we do because those men and women are over there doing doing the dirty work.
I mean, our job is built on the freedom of speech,
Yeah.
Both of our jobs are built on it. Like, it doesn't even exist if people aren't making the sacrifice for us. But yeah, that would be great to be able to talk with Gary Sinise. I know he does a lot for veterans, and it's nice to just be reminded. It's nice to be reminded of a space another reason just to have gratitude for the things that we have going on.
But also, it's like it's different parts of the like we're, growing up in Florida, I feel like there's so many people that, had family members in the military. But it's a lot more economic driven now, to where the military, it doesn't feel like the entire country is really a part of it, and it's really happening in very specific pockets. So it's it'll be interesting in the next 25 years, 50 years of who you kind of have to live in these certain areas to have a relationship with somebody who's serving, because that's what personalizes it.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. During in ancient Rome, they used to have the politicians were also on the battlefield, which is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
So it was like the rules that they were making, if they were going to send people into battle, they were going to have to be associated with those rules. And I think it would be, who am I to say? I didn't serve, but it would be, I think maybe some of the rules we would make some of the choices we would make might be a little bit different if it felt
if you had skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's always some value in having skin in the game.
Yeah. I think that's just a tricky thing with politics in general, when you just can't recognize the elected officials and the leaders. You just feel like you cannot relate to them. They can't relate to you on any level. And it feels like those margins are getting wider. Right?
Dude, that might be I'm sure there's a cool film out there, a lot of cool opportunities. Well, man, I hope you continue to serve us in great ways by bringing art to life, and bringing it into video format for us. And yeah, thank you so much, dude, for all the entertainment and for stopping by and chatting. Thanksgiving week, you guys can check out Eternity with Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen.
And also my wife Kelly, she's coming out with a robe line.
Will that be available for holidays?
Yeah. And I'm just so proud of her.
Yeah.
So had to get that out there too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys have been together for how long?
It's almost 13 years.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did you know right when you met her that was a one?
I knew she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. Yeah, there you go. Appreciate that, guys. She's the most pure-hearted person I've ever met in my life. I didn't know that. Obviously, when I saw her, I was just attracted to her face. And but then as I've gotten into, but then we're pretty inseparable right off the bat. But I do remember, because I was 25, dude. This was I'd lived in my career just started, and she, and I remember my Florida boys I moved out with, when they start seeing her hanging around more and more, I'm like, yeah, well, she's my girlfriend. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're like, why would you have a girlfriend right now? This is our moment. This is our entourage moment. Yeah, we rented a house in the valley. We had a pool. They're like, this is our time, dude. I was like, well, I was probably yeah, am I ready to settle down? No, but also I'm not ready for her to just leave me either.
Yeah.
It's I don't want, this one's not getting away.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, that's funny. You buy your
That's my best friend. Dude, we literally I never get sick of her. And when I tell people the difference is most people, they have a job 9 to 5, whatever it is. And when I'm filming, certainly it's like that. But when I'm not, it's and she comes with me when I'm filming. It's I see her from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. Maybe I go work out for a little bit or do something like that. But we are with each other all of the time. And we love it. That truly is that. She cracks me up. She's very low. She's so hard to get rattled. Ooh. She doesn't raise her voice. She says being calm is her superpower. But she's just unflappable. She's great.
The unflappable Kelly Teller.
Oh, she's going to love that. She loves
cool.
you.
And she has a new pajama line that's out. Yeah, I remember the day that I met her. You guys were sitting out back together, man.
Yep.
I think almost every time I've seen you, except for that one time that you were dancing by yourself, which is pretty admirable. I think a sea of people. Yeah. Miles Teller was there dancing by himself. I'm like, that dude is doing his own thing.
I took my boy to the fight that time.
It's so much fun. It's fun to bring your friends, man. And it's fun to bring us into your world for a little while. Thank you so much, Miles. I appreciate it. Check out Kelly's new pajamas, and congratulations, man, on everything.
Thanks, dude.
Yep. Have a good day, brother.
I'll see you at a fight soon.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this piece of my life I can